Gεια σας και καλώς ήρθατε to another episode of Dimitra's Dishes. I'm a huge fan of regular chocolate fudgy brownies, but today I'm going to teach you how to make my lemon brownies that are bright and delicious and still gooey just like a chocolate brownie is, except they're loaded with lemony goodness. Let's get started. Okay, so we're going to begin with the dry ingredients. In the bowl over here, I have 1 cup of all-purpose flour, and I'm going to zest some lemon in this. I have a really large lemon that I'm going to be using today because you need lots of lemon flavor for these lemon brownies. If you don't have a lemon this big, you can use a zest of 2 lemons, and then a little pinch of salt is also going to go in here. And we're going to just whisk this all up and set it aside. I'll add 1 stick or 112 grams of unsalted butter that's nice and soft to my mixing bowl with a cup of granulated sugar and the tiniest splash of vanilla. I usually don't measure vanilla and I let it go wild, but with this you want the lemon flavor to stand out. You just want a little bit of vanilla in the background for that floral flavor, so about a half a teaspoon is all you need. Mix this on high speed until everything comes together. Next, I'm going to add 2 eggs. If you want to bring your eggs to room temperature really quickly, you can just dunk them in a bowl of warm water and just keep changing that water out until the eggs feel a little bit warm to the touch or until they're at room temperature. Add the eggs in one at a time and mix over high speed until everything is nice and fluffy and combined. So next we're going to juice the lemons. We're going to need a 1/4 cup of lemon juice, and you always want to zest the lemon before you juice it. And I'll add a 1/4 cup of lemon juice to my butter and egg mixture, and it's going to curdle at this point, but don't worry about it at all. I'll also add a half a teaspoon of baking soda, mix everything all up until it's combined, and just look at how curdled the mixture is. Don't worry, because once the flour goes in and you mix everything all up, it's going to be nice and smooth again. Try not to overmix it so that way your brownies will be nice and tender. I bake these in an 8-inch square pan. A round one will do too. Just line it with parchment paper, spray it with baking spray, or you can brush it with some melted butter. I just crumble it up so that way it stays in place, and I'll transfer all of this batter to the pan, smooth it out, and it's going to go in the oven and bake at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for about 27 minutes. I don't want the middle to set completely. The edges of the brownies are going to be cake-like almost. They're going to set, but the center is not going to have jiggle to it, but it's not going to spring back either. A toothpick that's inserted into the center of the brownies might come out a little bit moist. You don't want it to be dry, otherwise you've overbaked your brownies. You're going to want to set them aside until they cool, and at this point we're going to make the icing. In a bowl over here I have 4 ounces of soft cream cheese that's at room temperature. To it, I'll add 1.5 cups of powdered sugar, half a teaspoon of pure vanilla extract to this, just the tiniest splash will do. And then I'll also add 2 to 3 tablespoons of lemon juice to this and the zest of a lemon. I won't add so much lemon zest in here because there's lots of lemon zest in the brownies. And then mix it all up until the icing is at a pourable consistency. Not too thick and not too thin. If it looks a little bit gluey, you can add some more powdered sugar to this, like a half cup more will fix it. You can add more lemon juice if you like to get it to the consistency that you like. Once the brownies have come to room temperature, you can just spread all of that icing over the top of the brownies. I like it to go down the sides as well. And then once you cut into it, you're just going to see how gooey these are and bright and lemony. They smell so good. They're going to taste even better. So the trick to making these brownies is to not overbake them. So mine baked for exactly 27 minutes at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Oven temperatures vary. What you're going to want to keep in mind is that the sides will be springy when you touch them. They're almost going to look cake-like, but the center shouldn't jiggle. There's going to be like a little bit of a wave to it once you open the oven. At 25 minutes, I checked them, and they were still liquidy in the middle. You just want them to barely set. So when you press the center of the brownie, it shouldn't spring back. That's how you know it's done. If you insert a toothpick into the center of the brownie, it should come out moist, not with any dried crumbs attached. If you have the dried crumbs, you've overbaked it. So underbaking is way better than overbaking. Let these come to room temperature before you put the icing on top. This icing is just going to take the brownies over the top. It's going to be lemony and creamy. I add a little bit of cream cheese to it because originally most of the recipes that I've seen online call just for a plain powdered sugar and lemon juice icing, but the cream cheese lightens it up because lemon can be a little bit harsh. So the cream cheese makes it more creamy and milder, and it's just so good. The center pieces are gonna be gooey and fudgy and lemony, in between like a lemon bar and a brownie. The texture, that's what the texture is like. It's so good, you guys. I think you're gonna absolutely love these. They freeze well too, so you can make an extra batch and keep it in the freezer, thaw it out and take it out when you have guests, make some coffee, call some friends over, and head on over to the website to print this recipe out, dimitrasdishes.com. I hope you guys give this recipe a try, and if you do, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. I'll see you all next time. Yes, us.